Okay, so everyone just needs to stop. We all need to stop looking for the best notes app or the best productivity app, or whatever. Most likely, the best notes app is the one that you have already built on your phone. So for someone like me, an iPhone user, it's the Notes app that comes with the iPhone. I was one of those people where I started with Notes and I thought, oh, you know, Notes is quite basic. Let's try all these other sort of Notes apps out, like Evernote and Notion and all these different things. And I still use Notion. I still use Notion for work related stuff. But when it comes to my own personal notes, I'm back to the Notes app on the iPhone. It's just the best app that you can have for notes right now. So in this video, I wanted to cover what is possible with the Notes app, what you can do with the Notes app, just try and get the most out of it and share some cool, interesting tips and tricks with it so that you can use it to its full ability. So the first thing you're most likely going to see when opening up the Notes app is your folders of notes. So as you can see here, I have a few different folders, but you can have as many folders as you like. You can also see your shared notes that you shared with other people. But yeah, I have a folder here for my personal notes, and then I have a folder here for the stuff that I'm going to demo in this video, because obviously I don't want you guys to see my personal notes, of course. But yeah, to make a new folder, it's actually super easy. Bottom left, you tap and you can make a new folder. But what is clever here, and is something that I only recently discovered myself, is that you can make a smart folder. So when you go to smart folder, you can actually have different conditions for that folder, for what should be in that folder. One thing I didn't even know was that you can actually add tags to notes. Like, I didn't even know that was possible. Basically a way of categorizing your notes. So let's just say you added a tag for recipes. Maybe you have different recipes for different meals and you have different notes. You can just add the hashtag recipe to any of those notes, and then you can have them all automatically organized into a folder, which is pretty awesome and something I didn't know that could be done with notes. You can also choose date created, so when you last created them, date edited, shared, mentioned, checklist, attachments, just a bunch of different ways to have your notes organized. I'm really glad Apple added this because it makes it so much easier to find notes, specific notes that I want. Once you've made a folder, you can even make a folder within a folder. So once you're in a folder like I am here, you can just go top right and you can add folder, and then you can easily add a new folder within that folder. So to quickly demonstrate the hashtag sort of feature, I'll just type something random here like, hey, what's up everyone? Then I can add something like script as a hashtag, done. So now that's our note added there. We can then, for example, we can see actually already a tagged note in here, but of course we can make a new folder, scripts like so, make into a smart folder, tags, any selected tag, script, done. And now it will show me all of the notes with that hashtag on it. So yeah, great way just to organize your notes. So when you're in a note, you can see there are a bunch of tools along the bottom. The first one is the ability to add a table. So you can also delete table if you need to. You can convert to text, share table, copy table. Yeah, just a quick way to add tables. So maybe let's just say trips. Let's put price. Maybe I want to go to Iceland. Let's just say it costs like 5,000 or something like that. Yeah, there's just a bunch of ways you can make a use of the tables in Notes. Good way to organize your stuff. You can also format it as well. So let's make this row bold, and we can see with some formatting, we can make the tables look a bit more legible. We can also use the formatting tool here to do different things like add titles, headings, subheadings, body text, monospaced, as well as go through bold, italic, underline, strike through, make quick bullet points if we need to, indent, and sort of, I don't know what is it, indent? But what's the opposite of indent? Outdent. It is outdent. Oh, okay, it is outdent. Okay, that's right then. So yeah, you can also outdent if you need to. There is also a checklist option here to add things to a checklist. So maybe need to do some food shopping or something like that. So I could put in something like burger buns. I don't know why I'm putting in burger buns, but I just love burgers. So patties like this. We can easily add things to a checklist here and go through them. Good way to do a food shop. I actually use the checklist myself when it comes to making sure that I get all the items that I need for my weekly shop. So the next one is one of my favorites and one that I use a lot, and that is the scanning tool, the camera tool that is built into Notes. So just as an example, let's get a page from this book. We're going to click the camera icon. We can choose to add a photo, of course, but the scan documents one or the scan text one is what I think is the most useful. So scan documents, we can hold the phone over the document like so. It will scan it and then it will add it straight into our notes, which is just brilliant because I use this a lot for things like scanning my driver's license, my passport, for when I need to add documents to like forms and things like that. This makes my life so much easier. I also use it sometimes just to scan random documents that I need to send via email. Put it in here, and then once you've scanned a document, you can actually tap on it like so, and then you can share that to wherever you like. We also have the pen tool here, which you can use to draw anything you like in notes. Anything you need to do, you can do. It also has this clever thing where, I don't know if you just noticed that, where you can basically draw a shape roughly and then it will try and figure out what you've drawn. So for example, I'm going to draw a square like so. I can hold it down and it'll make the square perfect for me. This is really useful, and one that can be used just to maybe mark documents or whatever else you need to do. If you ever need to quickly add a note, you can actually add a quick note button to the control center on your iPhone. So you go to settings first, then you scroll down and you go to control center, and then we can see here quick note. We can add that. By the way, if you guys are interested in the wallpaper, I'll leave it linked down in the description below. But yeah, once you've added that to your control center, you go to the top right like so, and you can see you have a quick note here, and you can quickly just add a note without actually having to go to the Notes app. So if you ever have a note that has sensitive information in it, you can actually lock it with Face ID. So we're going to go up here, we're going to lock it like so, and then obviously you need to enter your passcode. Once you've entered your passcode, you can just enable Face ID like so. Okay, and now it's locked. So now when I go into the notes, I can see that the note itself is locked. There's a little padlock icon and there's a locked text underneath as well. I'll tap on it, it will say view note. It will use Face ID and then it will unlock the note. And then if I need to lock it again, I can just press the lock icon at the top. Another neat feature with Notes is that you can share notes with other people who are of course on iPhone and have the Notes app. I can then press the share icon at the top and then I can share notes, send a copy or collaborate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press collaborate and then I can share that with anyone that I need to. You can also pin a note if you want to, if it's a note that you're accessing regularly. So you can hold down on it like so, and then you can pin the note and it will be at the top of your notes. Another neat feature which a lot of people don't realize is there is that you can actually swipe on notes to do different things. So for example, I can swipe right to pin a note, or I can swipe left. If I do that, yeah, swipe left to share it, organize it into a folder, or delete it without actually having to go into the note. Another very clever feature that goes back to the scanning documents, if you have a bunch of notes and you have documents in there, you can actually search text that is within the document. So for example, obviously I have a document here that I scanned earlier, and if we choose the word, let's just say we choose the word exception that we can see here. If we go back and we search for exception, we can now see it finds the note and it also shows us the attachment that's within that note. So we can go in through here and it will find us that note. That to me absolutely blows my mind, and it's one of the best features about Notes and scanning documents and stuff. Like, it's just so clever. It is so clever, and I'm really glad it's a feature that is a part of Notes because I use it a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned a thing or two when it comes to Notes, and hopefully you make use of Notes more, because I really do think it's the best Notes app that you can get. Don't worry about messing around with other apps. Just try Notes, try and do everything you can with Notes, and you'll be surprised at how much you can do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.